Hi, welcome to Tech Showcase 2021. Today we're going to talk about how to take your market research, do it yourself with emotion AI technologies using Affect Lab platform from Entropik Tech. My name is Kumar, one of the founders of Entropik Tech. I take care of the overall product engineering and insights organization. We are a 6-year-old startup based out of India, Bangalore. We work with about 150 plus clients across the globe. We specialize in being able to measure, understand, and analyze human emotions at scale using a bunch of emotion AI technologies, especially focused around facial expressions, eye gaze tracking, tonality, and brainwave mapping. We have 17 plus patents filed across the globe. We are the second largest repository on emotion data standpoint across 60,000 plus experiences that have been tested through the platform, and we are a venture-backed startup. So when it comes to emotion AI at Entropik Tech, we primarily focus on 4 core technologies that are part of the emotion AI stack, which powers the Affect Lab platform. The first one is facial coding. Using a standard webcam in your laptop or your mobile phone, you're able to analyze your facial expressions in real time and transpose the data into a bunch of different emotions. There are 2 levels of emotions that we measure, what we call as macro emotions or universal emotions, which are your happy, sad, anger, fear, etc. And we also measure micro expressions, which we also call as micro emotions, that are really transitory in nature, that happens in like hundredth of a second, right? So typically in millisecond radius. A smirk on your face, a frown on your face, your eye blinks, your eyebrow raise, smaller, really nuanced expressions that gets expressed. We're able to capture that using the standard webcam as well. We use advanced computer vision machine learning to be able to capture, analyze your facial expressions at scale. The second piece of technology that's part of the emotion AI stack is eye tracking. Again, using a standard webcam in your laptop on your mobile phone, we are able to analyze your eye gaze patterns in real time when you're looking at an ad, browsing a website, playing a game, or even watching an ad to see whether you're looking at the celebrity, you're looking at the landscape, you're looking at the product, or the brand messaging, etc. So we use advanced computer vision and machine learning algorithms to be able to predict where you're looking at, what you're looking at scale. Again, there's no external hardware involved in eye tracking as well. So with this technology, we are able to provide you heat maps, gaze plots, transparency plots, and we also support what is called as areas of interest, which allows us to dissect the data into smaller sections where we can tell you exactly, did you notice a particular element on the screen, right? If you did notice it, how much time did it take for you to notice it? Of X number of people coming and seeing this particular creative, how many people actually saw that particular element in your creative? So this helps you optimize your media creatives, your packages, your shelf layouts, or your planograms, etc., and also optimize your UX, your websites as a part of your usability research or UX research. The third piece of technology that's part of the voice AI stack is voice tonality based emotion detection. With the based on the tone, the frequency, the pitch of a person's voice, we are able to measure whether he or she is having a positive experience or negative experience, what kind of emotions are being expressed by the person depending on the tone. And in addition to voice tonality, we also capture your voice and we convert that into automatic speech recognition and transcript module that's by default part of the voice AI stack. The last piece of the technology stack, which is part of the emotion AI, is brainwave mapping. We have a very portable, non-intrusive EEG headset that allows us to quickly pair your headset with your laptop or mobile phone via Bluetooth and have you watch the ad, browse a website, or in fact touch a physical product or eat something, and have your data captured in real time and transpose the raw brain waves into metrics like attention, engagement, activation, enjoyment, and also set of emotions. A combination of these 4 technologies put together is part of our emotion AI stack at Entropik Tech. Our core product is called Effect Lab, which basically brings in together the brainwave mapping, facial expression tracking, voice tonality, and eye gaze tracking into one coherently built self-service platform, where on one hand we have brands, agencies, advertisers who would like to test their advertisements, who would like to test the packages, shelves, or the websites and apps. And on the other hand, we also have a native panel inbuilt into the platform with about 60 plus million people reach across 120 plus countries, where with a couple of finger clicks, you'll be able to reach someone in, let's say, New York, 18 to 24, male with an income of greater than $80,000. You don't have to step out of the door to do your full research, and all of this data is captured in real time at scale. In addition to the core emotion AI technologies, we also have a very flexible self-service survey module that allows you to create questions on the fly and have those questions answered by the consumers at different points in time as a part of the stimuli exposure. We also have large industry benchmarks that allows us to quickly tell you where you are with respect to your industry category as a whole. If you're launching a new product in a particular geography and you want to see whether this particular new ad is that in the top 90th percentile or in the bottom 30th percentile, the mid 50th percentile, we'll be able to quickly tell you by comparing your ad against a particular category, subcategory benchmarking data for a particular country in terms of figuring out whether this particular creative is able to break through the clutter, have the information passed on, right? So you'll be able to have all of this data at your fingertips via self-service dashboard. With this, I will take you all through the demo of the Emotion AI platform, the Effect Lab platform. So while we go through the demo, if you have any questions, please feel free to type in your questions in the chat. I'll try to answer all of them as much as possible. If there's anything additional that you want to ask specifically about the technology, also feel free to type them in your channel. We'll try to cover as many questions, whichever ones that we could cover, we couldn't cover, we'll follow up with you offline to have those questions answered. With that, so yeah, what you're seeing in the screen is the Effect Lab platform. It's a cloud-based multi-tenant platform. So I have today logged into a demo tenant called Sales. This could be, let's say, a Unilever, or it could be a P&G, or it could be your company's name, .effectlab.io. Each and every customer gets their own workspace, and once you come into your workspace, you'll be able to click on username, password, enter them. Once you log in, what you see initially in the screen is a set of bootstrapped default campaigns that are available in the platform, so that you don't have to create anything from scratch in order to understand what is it the platform offers out of the box. We support three core insights as a part of the self-service offering: shopper insights, media insights, and UX insights. You will have all of these different use cases covered with examples spread across. And there's a couple of tests that are already created, a couple of people have already taken the test, and you have all of this data available in the insights dashboard. And then when you click on view insights, so what we will do right now is try to take you guys through creating a new campaign on the fly from the scratch, right? So when you go to campaigns module, the first thing you would see is illustration campaigns, which we talked about. And there's a simple workflow where there's draft campaigns, active campaigns, and closed campaigns. Any campaign you create by default becomes draft. And once you activate the campaign, it goes into active status. And when you're done with the campaign, you mark it as closed, and the campaign is not available to respondents anymore. So here I'll go to draft campaigns, which has by default a set of campaigns that are there in the platform. Today, I'll go ahead and try to create a new campaign. So I can give a name of the campaign as Insights Tech Showcase 2021. I have an option to choose a media insights campaign, UX insights campaign, or shop insights campaign. Let's say for this demo, I'll go ahead and choose media insights campaign. And I'll choose a start date of October 4th till October 31st. And if you are a brand and have multiple sub-brands, you can define all of your brands in the organization in settings. Or if you're an agency working with multiple clients, you can define all of your clients in multiple organizations. There's role-based access control that allows you to define who can view what, and you can also invite external people to have access to insights and reports without having access to other brands or other customers' data within your particular workspace itself. So this allows you to invite and collaborate with your customers or with your other brand managers or with your other research professionals on the fly within the platform. So once I click on Media Insights, click on Proceed to Test, the first thing that happens is my campaign gets created on the fly, and my campaign is created. I have a small pop-up notification, and once a campaign is created, I will see a pop-up that allows me to create a new test from scratch, or I can use a pre-existing templates that are by default available. There's a promo testing template, ad testing template, episode content testing template, and an animatics testing template. So in this case, just to showcase the flexibility, I'll go ahead and start from scratch. When you click on start from scratch, I have to give a name to the test. So I'll just call it as Tech Showcase 2021. I have an option to choose brainwave mapping and eye tracking, or facial coding and eye tracking, or standalone as well. So for this demo purpose, I'll go ahead and choose facial coding and eye tracking. And if there's a brief that you want to capture within your tenant, let's say this is a demo campaign created for showcasing the Effect Lab platform. You can put in whatever as briefs that you want to put in. This is only specifically for people who have access to the campaign module. This is not externally visible. If there are any specific instructions that you would like to show to your testers or to your panel, you can enter that information. So for example, this is a test um, campaign. So this is the place where you will actually set the tone of what you're trying to test about, or you want to put a mood towards, like set up the context in terms of what testers have to expect in the next couple of screens. We have collect tester information, which allows you to collect basic information like where they are from, what gender, age group, location. If you don't want to have that information collected, you can uncheck it. Collect feedback on test experiences, just basic survey experience on the panel side to see how people like the overall experience of providing their data capture. So I'll keep this unselected for the demo. Once I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and click on save. Once I click save, what happens is my right hand side. This is the portion where a lot of my definition of what I want to test, how I want to test it, what kind of questions to ask is all structured. So in this case, I could upload a video file here by dragging and dropping, or I could provide a URL here. Since it's a demo, I would like to go ahead and show you a live demo of a YouTube ad. Let's say we would like to quickly test a 6-second bumper ad of a particular brand. And again, with no affiliations to any brand, I'll just randomly pick, let's say, ad. And in this case, I have one ad. I'll just copy paste the URL, close this, and I can define whatever the name is. In this case, I'll just go ahead and define as Nescafé. Enter the URL, and we ask you to map each and every stimuli that you have, that you're uploading or that you're entering via URL into a particular category, subcategory, so that we are able to provide the right benchmarks for you when in the insights module and the reports module. So in this case, you have consumer goods and services, and then you have an option to choose your subcategory, subclassification. So I entered it 3 times. I'll go ahead and delete this. And then I'll choose a subcategory as, let's say, household. And then I'm just going to randomly select a category, but this is important to set the right categories, right expectations, right? And if you want to allow users to skip watching the media, you have an option to define it. And if, let's say, for example, the ad is 6 seconds, you want somebody to skip after 3 seconds, you can define it. So there'll be a small skip button that will show up on the tester side for them to click if they don't want to continue watching the ad. In this case, I'll actually not allow them to skip. I'll have them watch the full ad, and I'll make it as private. So if I have multiple creatives available, I have an option to sequence them. If I have more than one creative, I'll be able to drag and drop or choose a random sequence or choose a hybrid sequence where I can have a set of creative come up in a specific sequence, the other creators show up in a random sequence. So you have complete flexibility in terms of how you want to showcase your ad in a clutter environment to your respondents. Once you're comfortable with the sequence side of things, you can actually define a set of screening questions to define whom you want to allow, whom you don't want to allow. We have a predefined survey library of age, employment, and gender specific questions. You can just quickly select and hit save. This automatically creates a question. In this case, let's say we want to allow only females, and we want to randomize the option so that male and female does not show in a particular order all the time. So once I hit save, the question is saved. And I have a couple of different options in terms of what I want to choose from. So if I'm happy with the question, then I move on to the greeting section where if somebody is qualified to take the test, what message do I want to show it to them? If not qualified based on the qualifying criteria that I've set, what is the message? This is completely customizable. You have an option to type in whatever text you want to support. We are also multilingual. We support up to 14 different languages across the globe. So you can copy paste in any different language and this will show up in that exact same format that you're seeing. Once you're done with your custom greetings, if there's any set of specific questions that you would like to ask before your panel or your users actually see the creative, you can define those questions here. Let's say, for example, I have about 20, 25 different question types, all the way from checkbox grid, drop down, metric star rating, max def, multiple choice grade, NPS. So we have a whole suite of questions that are supported out of the box. If I don't like any of the questions or I'm not sure, I can go to survey library, pick one of the questions or one or more questions and hit save, and those questions will automatically populate it. So selecting a star makes that question required. Selecting this makes the option randomized. And we also support branching logic and compound logic, just like any survey platform, where you can define depending on what answer is chosen. You can have them routed to a different set of question, different set of media, so you have complete control in terms of which question is being shown to which user based on the path, based on the values or the options they're selected. In addition to that, you have an option to choose a particular question to tag into a media. So if you have multiple creatives, you can specify, I want to ask this question just before this creative starts or right after this creative ends. So anything that you want to ask right after the creative end, you will define it in the post survey. Anything that you want to ask before, you will define in the pre-survey. So you have a whole suite of questions that you can define. And there's no limit in terms of the number of survey questions that you would like to ask as well. And then the next section is post-survey. This is exactly similar to pre-survey where you want to, after a media is actually shown, you can specify and ask certain questions in terms of what they think about the brand, how much do they trust. You have a whole lot of predefined survey library questions that are available, which covers purchase intent, likability, etc. So in this case, I'll go ahead and choose to, and I'll still make my options randomized to remove any bias in the question format as well, right? Here, I'm not gonna choose, let's say, for example, here, how to trust this brand. And let's say I will say that if somebody selects not likely, I want to take the thank you, not so likely, thank you. Somewhat likely also, I would like to take them to thank you page. If it is very likely, then I will actually do the inverse of it and then show them what will it take for them to change. And does that change the perception of the brand? And somewhat likely. So you have complete flexible option once you do and hit save logic. So anybody who answers, selects the first three values, they will be routed to page. And you can quickly see that in the tree map in terms of which question, where routing is actually taken place. And if you have multiple branching, you will actually see this tree open up according to your logic that you have set up. The last module is integration. If you already have a survey platform that you would like to integrate, you have straightforward way to set up your redirects, add your complete URL or your screenshot URL, your error URL, or quality check URL, and you can also define custom variables that you want to pass between the two platforms so that you know who is actually coming in and who is actually being circulated back. If you want to use your own survey platform or the final section is a tester module where you have an option to generate a URL which you can pass it along to anyone, or you have an option to generate test IDs and define, let's say I want to create 10 test IDs. You can share these 10 test IDs and have them enter these test IDs to take the test so that you're able to cleanly track who is taking what test, whether they're complete or not. Or the third option is to use a native panel. We work with Lucid, Dynata, Sint, and P2 Sample. So you have an option to choose different panels. Everything is very seamless. You want to define number of completes. Let's say I want to get 150 completes. Let's say my incident rate is 65%. It's going to take about 1 minute. I want to have data captured in 5 days. I want 50 completes, and this belongs to, let's say, uh, food category. And you can define the country. Let's say in this case, United States or United Kingdom. And then I have an option to choose the age, gender, state, and city as well, depending on which country. So once you hit select all these parameters and hit save, the system will automatically shoot an email out based on the qualifying criteria and have them take the test. Once you are successful and once you're comfortable with the test that you've created, you can go ahead and click launch. What it does is it actually makes the campaign, takes it to an active status from draft status, which means anybody who has access to the link or the panel that you wanted to reach out to, they would have got that particular link to take it. So you also have a preview option. Before you launch it, you want to quickly test the entire test through. You can click on preview test and take the test through the preview cycle to see how it's going to be from an end respondent standpoint without having to take the test. I'll quickly show how this is from a URL standpoint, right? So if I go ahead and click generate URL, I can quickly copy paste this URL. So what I'm going to do is just walk you through certain steps. It's very, very straightforward. So as I said, we support up to 14 different languages, most of the European languages and other languages throughout the globe. So if there's any language that is particularly not there, we would be able to add that to support the platform pretty quickly. If you have created a tester ID in here using this method, you can pass on this tester ID and use login using tester ID. Or you can go ahead and click on let's begin test. So the system will automatically create a tester ID. You don't have to worry about that. The entire platform is GDPR compliant. We don't actually store any PII data or capture any PII specific data. All the data gets captured, facial expressions gets analyzed, and then immediately the video gets deleted. So we are also ISO 12001 and SOC 2 compliant as well. So when you agree to the terms and conditions, click on next. The system will quickly check whether the camera is on, audio is enabled, it's a supported browser, and you'll be able to see your face on the right hand side and hit next. System will basically check whether everything is actually intact, quickly making sure that your camera is turned on, and then the test is itself loading. So this is a message that we have put in at the time of creating the test. You can, whatever message that you put in, you'll be able to see it here. You have an option to completely customize the entire background as well. So instead of having a white background, you could have a different background. You could have your own logo. You could change the color of the buttons, border, etc. So it's completely white label supported as well. So when I'm ready to go, I'll click on next. This is a form I was talking about. I'll quickly enter the values. Let's say India, Bangalore, select an age and gender, and the question that we selected, right? So in this case, I'll go ahead and choose male, hit submit. So we had female as the right option. So now I was not qualified. Okay, and my test is aborted since I didn't qualify. Right, so if you had successfully qualified for the text, the whole experience will take you through in terms of capturing your facial coding data, eye tracking data in real time, and have that video exposed as well. So while the testers actually take the test, you will be able to start seeing the results here in real time. Let's say, for example, let's go look at an active campaign that has a couple of testers who have already taken the test in the platform. So while the system loads, you have an option to look at what test it is actually coding, eye tracking, quickly filter on whether you want to look at media insights or you want to look at UX insights and stuff. Or if you don't want to look at any of draft campaigns, you can quickly go back, um, click on illustration campaigns, and select one of the predefined media insights campaign. Let's say in this case, media test for FMCG. So I'll go click on this. My bootstrapped campaign data all gets loaded. You can see here that there's a bunch of people who have actually taken the test. About close to 100 people have taken the test. This is through using Lucid Panel, and this is from India, right? So it took about 7 days and 7 minutes. So all of your data, you know who's completed, who is aborted, that information. And you can go to Insights module and look for the particular campaign that you want to test. If you want to specifically look at that illustration campaign's insights, you can quickly click on View Insights, which is, and go to Insights. Again, Media Insights FMCG campaign. The system is trying to load the data in. Since it's 100 people's data available, we'll go ahead and click once the data is available. Your apply button will show up where you can start analyzing the data in real time. Let's say in this case, I'll go ahead and choose mass internal test, hit apply. The first dashboard that you would see is a summary insights dashboard. You have all the creatives that you're testing with an Affect Lab score for each of the creatives. You'll be able to play the creatives, every one of them, and see what ad you're actually testing. And if you have multiple creatives, you'll be able to see all of them in a single place. You can also see where they have been taking the test from, what age group, what gender, how many screening questions, pre-survey questions, post-survey questions, overall summation information, how many completed, and the entire funnel of people who have actually taken the test. So this is a quick summary view of the entire test. Your emotion insights dashboard is where you'll be able to see specific data and also what you see in the top section of the key KPI metrics like Affect Lab score. When you hover over the name, it actually gives you a definition of what the Affect Lab score is, what is attention, what is engagement. And this has a 42.83 score. And when you have benchmark enabled, you'll be able to see whether the 42.83 is in the top 80th percentile or is it in the mid 50th percentile or the top 95th percentile to see whether this ad is outranking all the other ads. And you will have benchmark score for attention, engagement, positive emotion, negative emotion. So for this particular ad, since we already have the data captured, I'll go ahead and hit play. You can see the heat map data and the facial coding, attention engagement data see live parallelly. If you want to have a little bit of controls around the heat map variables, you can click on this and enter the different values that are there and then hit play, where you'll be able to see the heat map a lot more prominently. This tells you what people are seeing, what people are not seeing. Areas it indicates most viewed, the areas indicates less viewed, and the other areas are completely transparent, which means it's not seen at all. So you can look at the same data from a different angle, which is your transparency data point as well. So which allows you to quickly see what people are exactly seeing, what people were not actually seeing as well. So the last visualization option is gaze plot. This gives you a sequence of where people started, what they were actually seeing, and the entire sequence of the data flow completely. One of the other features that I was talking about is areas of interest, which allows you to quickly define specific elements. Yeah, let's say in this ad, this particular lady who's sleeping here in this section, I can define that end segment and I can define the duration when that particular lady lied down on the yoga mat and hit save. So once I said, you'll be able to see the name, abbreviation, and the name of the segment. Once I hit go ahead and close it, I'll be able to see when I hit AOI, that particular segment that I created, you can actually see a clip of that particular segment here as well, in terms of that particular 3-second video when she was lying down, that exact clip. Start time to end time. It took about 0.44 seconds for people to notice it. Once they noticed that they spent about 0.37 seconds, only about 60% of the people actually viewed this particular area of interest that I have highlighted. This could be your brand, this could be a logo, this could be a celebrity, this could be anything, right? And then what are the emotions that were exhibited, what was the attention, what was the engagement. So you have complete view of that. On the right hand side, you have second by second data that's available for you to look at attention engagement. And you also have an option to quickly flip through and see what emotions are exhibited on a second by second basis. A quick view of the emotion spread, the cognitive metrics, and the entire data is available for you to download via the reports Excel format. So you can download this data, slice and dice the data completely in your Excel sheet as well. So every single chart, every single data point that you see in the dashboard is completely available for you to download. The next one is the survey insights. Any survey questions that you've set up with screening, pre-survey, post-survey, you have all of the data available for you to visualize. You can download this data as well. And the last one is comparative insights, where you can quickly compare one creative with another creative. Let's say, for example, if I want to quickly compare with Mars, and let me choose one of the creatives. Let's say the yoga ad creative that we saw. I can click on add. I can, let's say, go back and choose Mars, choose the same test, but pick a different creative this time. Let's say handshake extra. And let's say I want to compare one more creative and I want to see how this creative fared with respect to that creative. Here, I'll go ahead and choose the love beats likes and then click on add. And when I'm done, I can go ahead and hit apply. So what the system does is you have a quick comparative view of all the three creatives. You'll be able to quickly see the heat map of each one of them as well at the same time. So this allows you to analyze if you're doing a A/B testing, multivariate testing. You have an option, the effect lab score of all the three creatives, the attention engagement, what kind of emotion spread it is, what are the default emotions that's exhibited. If there's any specific areas that you have created, you can also define those things in the other creators and have them compare against. So to see which creative had what kind of exposure for different elements. And then how by age group, how by gender, all of this data is actually performing. So you have complete control over the data and you can filter by different parameters as well so that you are able to get to the right insights. So this is a dashboard where you can analyze all of your data. And the last module that I want to quickly cover is the reports module. So we spent a lot of time creating reports based on the data. What we have done with Effect Lab is to completely optimize and automate the entire report creation process. You can choose any of the campaigns and choose the right test and hit on sub apply. The system will automatically create a default report based on the template. These are templates that you can also upload in your own brand formatting as well, right? With your own logo, with your colors, etc. So I can quickly preview what this template actually looks like. Uh, the report is actually loading, so it's taking some time. So here, since it's a template, we have put our branding, our logo. So this could be your logo with your client's logo here. What is the name of the report is, and then information. So this whole PPT that you're seeing or PDF that is completely customizable. The system will automatically generate this report every single time you create a campaign. And all of this data gets populated directly from the data that's been captured. The client had the benchmark data, top 20%, bottom 20%. A quick comparison of your ad versus your competitor ads in terms of different heat elements. Your heat map gas plot gets shown here, and then second by second data of attention engagement, different emotions, positive emotions, negative emotions, different characters that are part of the ad. So you have full insight, and also all your survey, you can visualize them so that you have a complete report, which is about 90% ready for you to go add some blurb to customize this report for your client and send it out, or for your brand manager or for your management team, right? So you can go from completely from zero to insights without having to step out of the Effectcloud platform, completely self-service, do it yourself. And all of this data gets captured in real time, right? So you don't actually have to wait for days, weeks to have this data aggregated. So with this, I know I kind of quickly rushed through a lot of aspects of it. We only covered the media insights demo. We couldn't cover the shopper insights or the UX insights. With shopper insights, you have an option to create your own planograms, create your own interactive shelves by drag and drop. Very, very intuitive, very self-service, where you don't have to depend on your design team to create a planogram and test the planogram in a real shop environment. So you have heat maps, transparency plots, exactly the same thing. And with UX Insights, you'll be able to test your websites, markups, prototypes, and also any live website, which could be Amazon, it could be jet.com, or any other Rakuten or any other e-commerce website that you want to see, or your own website as well. And have your entire session recording data available, emotion data available, eye tracking data available. With this, I would like to thank the team for providing us the opportunity to showcase our platform. Looking forward to answering all of your questions as much as possible. Thank you.